Welcome to the Show Me the Shift podcast with Coach Lenora, certified life coach, HR certified professional, international best-selling author, and creator of the Victorious Movement. A members-only community where she coaches her members from stuck to action and from scarcity to abundance in the areas of mindset, goal setting, and monetization online. The Show Me the Shift podcast was created to encourage future entrepreneurs that they can step boldly into their purpose by hearing the stories of others who have paved the way. Here is our host, Coach Lenora.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining today, the Show Me the Shift podcast. I'm really excited to be here today and share information with you about someone that I consider to be a dear, dear friend, Miss Rita Ricks. And so I am not going to delay. I'm getting right into her bio so that we can spend as much time as possible talking about her career, what she's been doing of late, and all the wonderful things. And so to get started, let me go through her bio. But Rita is a spiritual transformation expert who helps high achieving individuals move away from the chaos around them and reconnect with calm and clarity within. Now, she believes that when you are truly transformed, something within you is awakened, realigned, and or released. So you don't just act differently, you are different. The old ways of you thinking, they no longer fit, and old wounds will no longer control you. So the old fears, they no longer hold power, and you begin living from the inside out. And so Rita guides her audience inward towards powerful personal awakenings. Through her deeply reflective and soul-stirring message, Rita actually shows you the real transformation. It doesn't just begin with doing more, it begins with being more present. And so Rita offers a pause. She offers a place and a space for you to reconnect with who you really are. And if you're ready for that soul level transformation, Rita is the voice that you've been waiting for. So without further ado, I am going to let you hear the voice of the legendary Rita Ricks. So Rita, welcome.
Thank you, Lenora. It's good to see you, my dear. It's good to see you.
You as well. And so, well, before I get into my main questions for you,
Sure.
I did want to just disclose, and I think you know this, but I don't know, but that I decided to become a life coach because of you. Like, you inspired me.
I did not know that.
You didn't? Oh my gosh.
No.
So let me tell a little story time. So I actually remember meeting you and interacting and engaging, and I had gone to school for psychology because people always would come to me with their problems and concern. I would be in a grocery store line and someone would just say, hey, I'm going through this divorce and my wife's got me out here buying this and buying that. And they would just open up and talk to me. And so I remembered sharing something with you. I can't remember what it was. And she was like, because you're a coach. And I was like, wait, what? And you were like, you are a coach. And I said, well, I think I need to be like certified and have to go through all these things in order to be a life coach. And you were like, no, you could hang your shingle and you are a coach. You could be a coach. And that just really stuck with me. Yeah. And I still ended up going through and being certified. But at the same time, it was like, wow, like you saw something in me that I didn't even see in myself. And so
that's what a coach does.
And
that's what a coach is about.
Exactly. So share a little bit of your journey. So like taking a step back, because this is Show Me the Shift. So a lot of times it's about people shifting into from an employee to an entrepreneur, right? Yeah. So how did that shift happen for you?
This is a crazy journey that started actually 40 years ago this year.
Wow.
It absolutely did.
Oh my goodness.
When I left the school system and I opened Mirror Enterprise. Oh, I take that back because I had a fashion boutique for 2.5 years with a business partner down on Franklin Street.
Okay.
And from there, I went to Mirror Enterprise, where I had learned while I was doing the fashion boutique how women especially know what they want. They may say they don't, but they know what they want, and the clothes speak to who they are. And I loved finding out more about the women and why they're wearing this or why they're choosing to wear that. And I left there. I left the fashion boutique after 2.5 years, and I opened Mirror Enterprise, where I felt like I wanted women to really look at themselves, to see themselves. And so I did personal and professional development training. And it was a wonderful, wonderful experience. We did Mirror almost 20 years, and we did international training as well. And we also started the GREAT program, which was here in Richmond, Virginia, the Greater Richmond Employment Assistance Team. And so for about 7 years, we trained some 3,000 folks coming off of welfare, going into work. Wow. And that was a wonderful experience. We saw transformations like none others. But it was around 1995 that I decided that I wanted to no longer train big groups. I really wanted to work one-on-one with individuals. It was time. I wanted to go deeper than the surface training, you know? And so I did. And for me, I wanted to be a life coach, and I connected with that life coach community, but never, it was good, but it wasn't quite what I was looking for. And I was really fortunate. I know I was being led, because this is my purpose, to go over to Richmond Hill, which is an ecumenical center. And I did a program there for 2 years where we had to spend the night every month. We were there for the weekend every month. And I went in as a life coach in 2009. I came out 2011 as a spiritual coach. And I've been on that journey ever since. I really have. And and the big thing that transformed me was the fact that in those 2 years, we had to be silent for 24 hours, 6 times. 6 times. And wow. It changed my life. And most of the time I was writing, it was like a purging, because when you're silent, you hear yourself. When you're silent, you have time to listen to yourself and to others and to make better decisions. And so that transformed me to this day. And where I am now is my focus is on showing people how to appreciate the silence, how to understand what the silence can do for you, and how to pause sometimes before reacting. So settle some of this chaos that's going on.
Yeah, the chaos. Exactly. Now, you shared already a lot of gems, but I will say I remember being a part of one of your Richmond Hill retreats for just hours, not the overnight, but for the part of the day. And you were like, bring a journal, just be silent. And I remember how uncomfortable it was initially, because number one, I'm an extrovert. I'm always talking. If I'm around people, I'm like, hi, how are you? Da, 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 and then you're like, no, but you're silent. So,
and you had a tag. You had
that's what I was going to say. You had something on so other people would know that you're being silent. I remember eating and how you could hear, because we had our own section when we would eat, and you could just hear. Talk. You couldn't talk. So you're sitting at a table with other people and you couldn't talk, but you would like hear the fork or the knife or the sip or, whatever. And I was just like, wow, this is so different. It was such a great experience. And then the crazy
food, you could taste your food, right?
You could, absolutely. And the other part, and you probably don't remember this either though, but y'all were looking for me. I got so lost in the silence that I found this tiny little nook that was like elevated and up some stairs and in some little area.
It's in the cupola.
Yes. I couldn't remember the name of it. And so I was up there and just enjoying, because you couldn't have your phone, you couldn't have anything, totally got lost. And by the time I came down, you were like, we've been looking for you for like 20 minutes. We were wondering where you were. And so it just shows that when you do take that time to really get lost in the silence, like you literally, at least I did, got lost in the silence. And do you ever find that some people can't handle it? Like I know some people that they just maybe because of childhood traumas or things that have happened where they're just like, oh, I need noise. I need something because I can't deal with the silence. I can't.
Well, most of the time, the people that come have already figured out this is what they should try. They at least said, I will try it. That's
Got
where
it.
I am now with people saying and I explain to them, because a lot of people think you sit in a chair all day and you don't talk.
No, no.
And that would terrify me.
Right.
There's plenty of places to go at Richmond Hill, and there's the gardens. It's all really nice, like the cupola, which is up at the top.
Yep. A labyrinth. Don't they,
Yeah,
do they
the
still have the
labyrinth.
labyrinth you can walk
That's
around?
right. And so I think that, again, when people come, they are ready to they know something's missing. And
Right,
it
right.
is, and it's about the noise that's out here. And so the missing piece is to be silent so you can hear yourself and take the time to pause. I just continue to say that.
Yes, 100%. Okay, so when you first started down your journey of coaching, because you already said you went in as one coach even years
That's
later
right.
and came out as a different type of coach. So
Mhm.
what was your anticipation of the type of coaching that you were going to be doing to start? And then how did that, shift even before 2011 or whatever, like how did that change?
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of people, when they think of what it is that they're called to do, like it's going to hit them like a ton of bricks. Like I'm going to know that this is it and I need to stay on this path and put blinders on. But I find that it doesn't always
It's
work
not
that
good.
way.
Right, right, right. So for me, I wanted to lead the training because I had taught for 15 years and then I went into training. So I wanted to lead the training and focus one-on-one. And
Okay.
I read about life coaching. It made sense to me. You ask the client questions and you go from there.
Mhm.
And I love that concept. And it was slow starting in the beginning. And I realize now, because again, I started in 2005. I realize now that it was really important for me to understand, well, what am I supposed to be doing? What am I supposed to be offering people? What's my purpose? That probably sums it up. What exactly is my purpose? And my purpose has always been to show people a different way. And showing them a different way helps me to hear what they're saying and what they're not saying. So
Mm,
I think we all build. What I love is even now, Lenore, 40 years later, I am still evolving.
mm.
And I mean, somebody asked me, yes, Monday, oh, I thought you would be retired because at this point I'm 78, right? So I am not getting any younger. But they were like, well, I thought you would be retired. I said, and do what? This is the
Right.
most amazing time of my life to know who I am and be able to share my wisdom with others. I think that's what we're supposed to do. I really do.
Mhm.
And help showing them how to find their purpose.
Right. a
So,
hundred percent. I love
yes.
that. I love
Yeah.
that.
So
It's so
I,
funny that you say that because when I left corporate America earlier, I was talking to my vice president. He was like, "Why now? Why are you trying to do this?" And I said, "I can't help others walk in their purpose if I'm not walking in my
that's
own."
right. That's right.
And he
That's
was
right.
like, "Say that again." And he was like, that was profound. Like, say that again. And he
Yeah.
was like, "How can you argue with that? Right? How
Yeah.
can you argue with the fact that somebody truly knows that, look, if I don't pursue what it is I'm called to do, there are people out there waiting for all
That's
of
right.
us
I
to
believe
do what
that.
we're
I
called to
say
do."
that all the time.
Yes.
You are doing the planet a disservice,
Yep.
and people say,
Exactly.
well, somebody else is already doing that. But, there are coaches out there, but nobody coaches quite like I do.
Yep.
And
Mhm.
that's my gift. And that's what I am using. And I always say, like Aretha Franklin and Whitney Houston and who else? All of these
Patti
different,
LaBelle and
Patti
yeah,
LaBelle,
yeah,
they
and yeah.
all are singers,
Yep.
but they all have a different sound. And so
100%.
there's plenty of room for all of us. And that's the exciting part of what I do in my business is to see the aha
Right.
and do it with the spiritual sense, because I believe that we came here as spirit. I believe we will leave as spirit. Leave as spirit. And so we need to make sure that we're in alignment with our spirit, because our spirit contains our values. It
Mhm.
contains our vision. It
Mhm.
contains our hopes and dreams. And as long as we're aligned with that, then we are moving forward as we were to create the person we're supposed to be while we're here. You
I
know?
love that.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love
We
that. Yeah.
create our own reality. So if it's not working for you, find something else.
Yeah. I mean, that is so true. I mean, when you think about just manifestation and how, that is it. It's creating
Yeah,
your own reality. What are you focused on? Because you're
that's
not going to
right.
get
That's
something
right.
different than
That's right.
where your intention goes,
Yeah.
that's where
Yeah.
everything that
It
you're attracting.
grows. It
Yep,
grows.
it grows, and
That's right.
everything is attracting and coming back to you based on where you put your emphasis. So you might look
Exactly.
at somebody else and say, "Oh, they have this and they have that." It's not even about what they have. It's about what are their thoughts? What are they thinking? What do they
Right.
believe?
Right.
And
And, and
so,
and the thing too is that there's joy in here, inside
mhm,
here.
yeah.
That stays. It's just happy out here. Because when the sun is shining, I am so happy. When it's raining, I'm not so happy. It's a whole different mindset. But the
Right,
joy is in here because I am focused and
right.
intentional about what it is I'm doing. And I will simply say that almost 2 years now, I have been in this whole transformation piece. I didn't realize it in the beginning, but things just started to dry up. You cannot do the same thing the same way and expect different results. You
No.
just can't. And I had been really doing pretty much the same thing with my clients, but the technology,
It's
the
all
technology
different.
alone
Yes.
has forced us to do different and to learn. Like you said, you were on a technology.
Yeah, I was on an
um,
AI call earlier. Mhm.
exactly. And I've got one that was recorded for me that I'm going to listen to when we get off. But it's like, because we are learners, we are lifelong learners. I think
Mhm.
that's a part of being focused and intentional and purposeful. We are lifelong learners. And I know that there are people my age who just are struggling. And I still have a trainer that I've had since I first met you, twice a week. And
Mhm.
I still run a little bit. Those are all things to make sure that I stay healthy. I
Yeah.
cannot, like you say, I cannot talk to anybody else
Yeah,
as a
that's a
coach
good point.
if I'm not doing it myself. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I see you
Mhm.
working out too on your posts. I'm like,
You
"Go,
know, I'm
Rita."
girl there with those weights, and I fuss every time I go in there, and I'm so excited
You were
until
fussing back
I
then.
leave. I-
I love it though. I love
yeah,
it. It's just
yeah,
inspiring too. So
yeah.
that's so awesome. So yeah, but something that you had said really stood out. And now I'm trying to remember. See, this is why I need a notebook as I'm going through and
Hmm.
talking, because it
Hmm.
really is just very, very powerful. But let me take a step back and just remember, okay, so again, a lot of people who want to become entrepreneurs, they're afraid of the security.
Hmm.
They're
Or
afraid
the lack
of
thereof.
leaving, yeah, the lack thereof, right? Afraid of walking away from the security,
Hmm.
walking
Hmm.
away from what feels like security, because especially, well, in every day and time, I mean, we've had recessions in 2008, and there's crazy things going on now. AI is going to be taking over jobs. That's where I was going to go, AI. But AI is taking over jobs, things of that nature. So there's a mentality of security, but it may not be the
It's
reality that
false.
there
It's
is
false.
security.
I
And
mean, when I was growing up, when you got a government job, you were set for life.
yes,
You were
yes.
set for life.
You knew your
Be a
pension.
postman, whatever. And now that's not so.
Mhm.
It's not so. And so we need to, more than ever, be very selective with where we want to go with our lives. And
Mhm.
there is enough, I will simply say this, there is enough information out here for you to learn anything you want, anything
Yes.
you want. And so I always think that if you are in a full-time job and you're thinking of leaving, you should begin to think of your full-time job as a side gig. And your business that you want to start, that's your full-time job.
Yep.
Mhm.
100%. That's exactly
Yeah.
what I did. That's exactly what I did. I was like, "Oh, this job is holding me back from doing what I really am enjoying doing."
Mhm.
And so therefore it was
Mhm.
like, "Let me do this." And sometimes, you can be in a rut, and I didn't even
Oh, yeah.
realize
Stuck.
I
You're just stuck.
yeah,
Stuck.
you're stuck and you're
Mhm.
burnt out. and you're burnt out. And so I didn't even realize I was burnt out until long after I had left. But the crazy part is that also I stepped away with this vision of, oh, it's going to go like this. And this goes to your previous topic. And then I started sitting in on an AI class. Then I sat in on another AI class. And I'm like, oh, this is the thing right here that I really need to focus on, because number one, what's the point of me helping people, even career coaching and getting a job when they may or may not be able to still have that job in 5 years, but also the ones who know AI are going to be more likely to have those jobs, because companies are going to, and I've been hearing it from all the top CEOs of the Zuckerbergs and the Bezos and the, everybody else who's running Salesforce and Amazon and all that, but they're all like, we're going to start having people ask the questions. Have you used AI when you're doing this task? Use AI first, choose AI first. We're going to live in an AI first world when it comes to work. And so if people don't know AI, aren't using AI in their day to day, or afraid of it, they're going to be the ones who are going to be gone. And the people are going to be coming in that know how to work it. Know what prompts are, know all of that. So now I found myself shifting, but also, as you mentioned, as people get older, they start to not necessarily focus on certain things, which I know that is absolutely not you. I feel like you're always understanding and knowing and moving with the time.
At least I can say it. I may not be able to do everything, but I can ask what I need. Yeah.
And you know who to put in place so that you have those people to do what you need to do. And that reminds me of another saying that you said that I'm going to have to tell you in a moment that just cracks me up to this day. But the thing is that I'm in this AI class now. It's 16 weeks. And I would say 80% of the people, it's probably more than that. Almost everybody in this class is 50 and up.
Yeah.
And there's almost 300 people in it.
Yeah. Wow.
And almost everybody, because they have us break into smaller groups, and everybody, the youngest person may be in their 40s in our group, but that's like one person out of everybody else that's in there. So there are people who have retired. This guy was like, look, I'm 65. I know I'm not done. AI seems like it's going to be the next wave. And I missed out on Bitcoin. I missed out on being a YouTube star. I missed out on all these things that have come along in my career. So I'm not going to miss out on AI. So that's why he was there. So, but the funny thing.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just going to say the funny thing that you had shared, as I have Rita-isms, is that I remember one time you saying, because it was just about time, right? And having the right people do the right jobs for you. Like, do I want to be out there cutting grass, or am I going to have somebody cut the grass for me? And I just remember you saying, I do not want to go off of this earth with my hand in a toilet. So I'm hiring somebody to clean my house. I was like, wow. And when I could afford it, guess what I did? I was like, you know what? I could be spending that time making money while I am doing something that is, exerting my energy that I don't even want to do in the first place. So let me just pay somebody else.
And you're supporting her business. That's the thing. You're supporting her business or his business, because the people I've always gotten love to clean.
Yes.
And I'm like, come on in, Yes, so for me, it's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer. How much time do you have in a day? Right. And who's got time to? Yep. I just moved in a condo recently. It's very, very small. I call it my tiny house, and it is right under 1,000 square feet. And I have somebody to come in and clean it. Yeah.
Why not?
Oh, yeah.
Why not? Oh, yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah. I love it. So anyway, sorry. So I feel like I'm talking just as much as you, and I'm supposed to be interviewing you, but I'm bringing up all my Rita-isms. So
no, it's fine. I love it. I was telling somebody the other day that I remember when email came out, and I was the queen of voicemail. The queen could leave a concise message, knew what I was going to say, no junk about it. No, because email, how is email going to last? I mean, it's about talking. Who's going to write the whole message out? That's not going to be. And so I just ignored it. My staff was on it. This was when I had Mirror, and my staff was doing it. And then one day we got a contract. We got a bid from Food Lion. They wanted to bring us in. And they said in the letter, we only communicate by email.
They had to tell people because, and you know what else was really popular than fax?
Right. Right.
So people were either going to be, oh, I'm calling or I'm faxing.
That's
I'm
right.
sending this over. Now you could email a document over, and people are like, wait, what? Like
In a hot minute. But
mhm.
I just remember, and so that's why I say to people who are thinking about being entrepreneurs, there are certain things you have to already have inside of you, willing to learn, willing to receive criticism, willing to try different stuff, willing to be in a tough position,
Yeah.
be in a tough position at times.
Mhm.
But you're in a tough position even in your own job. There's
Right.
just not a lot of difference to
Mm-mm.
me, because nothing is promised. And I've always said, I will never get fired because I'll be the last person standing, and I'm not firing me.
Right. Exactly. That doesn't make any sense. Right.
Yeah, no,
Exactly.
I'm not going to
Yeah.
fire me.
It's
Mhm.
interesting that somebody even that I interviewed recently said, people will work and they'll slave and they'll do all this for a corporation. And then when it comes time for them to work for themselves, they're not giving it even half as
That's
much
right.
energy
That's
and
right.
half as much discipline. And,
That's right.
like all of those things are so important when you are your own
And
boss,
so
but
you're
it's
making
still worth
money
it.
for somebody else.
Right.
Yeah,
Exactly.
no.
Exactly.
Mm-mm.
And so, yeah,
Mm-mm.
and all it is really, for people who are contemplating entrepreneurship, really what it is, it's providing a service.
Yeah.
That's what it all
Yeah.
boils down to is
Yeah.
what is the service that you're going to provide others? How are you planning to serve others? And the better you serve others, the more compensated you are for
Yeah.
it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so, but
Absolutely.
you have to be able to have that desire to serve others, and people can be finicky.
Yeah. And
So,
listen, I wanted to just mention too, this is crazy because I never buy lottery tickets, but
oh
I
yeah,
bought 5 last night because I thought, why not me?
$1 billion.
Why not me? And so I bought 5. And then this morning I woke up and I said, oh, I'm probably not going to hear the numbers until the Today Show. And it was 5 o'clock. I asked AI, hey, what were the winning numbers? And the first thing it said was, nobody won. I was like, well, doggone it. But it showed me the numbers, and
Yep.
it showed me 10 people. I think 10 people, one from Virginia,
Oh
had the
wow.
numbers. And I said, look, I'm saying to it, do the numbers have to be in order? No, they don't. You just have to have the numbers that are on the screen. But the number in red, the power number,
Yeah,
that has to be at the end, which
that's the
I didn't
last
have.
one. Yep.
So, but that
Mhm.
was a conversation I had at 5 o'clock this morning
With AI,
with
right?
AI.
Exactly.
Look
Yeah,
good.
and that's the thing that I've been
Look
hearing
good.
recently is just like you said, email, voice, it is going to be Google and AI.
Mm-hmm.
How often and how much people use Google? Because if you think about it, 2
Mm-hmm.
years ago, you would have went to potentially Google and said,
Oh,
"Hey, Google, can you tell me what the lottery numbers were?"
that's
But
right.
now you've shifted to, "Hey, AI, can you tell me?" Because it's your
And,
personal assistant.
and this one asked me, how'd you do?
Oh, really? Yeah, it takes on a personality, which is fun. Well, okay, this is kind of sidebar, but have you changed the voice of your AI? Like, do you physically talk to your AI
So
and change
I'm
the
not,
voice?
Angela does, my colleague, but it's something that I'm going to start to do because I'm talking more,
Yeah.
and I understand just today there was a problem because I couldn't get it for a while to understand what I was saying. And so,
Mhm.
but no, I will, but Angela has changed the voice. She has an
Yeah.
amazing male.
Oh, that's the one I have. I'm pretty sure he sounds well,
Girl,
I'll just put it this way. When my
girl.
boyfriend heard his voice this weekend, he was like, "Who is that?"
I'm
And I
telling
was
you.
like, "It's my AI voice." So yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. But
That's what
so
I was gonna say.
I do plan to do that. I
Yeah.
love writing because I can think while I'm writing.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, she's got this is a hello, Angela,
Oh
is what he
yeah,
said.
I've got him right here. You
Hmm.
want to look? I'll
Yeah,
tell
let
you
me
right
hear.
here. Hold on. Here we go. Hello, AI. How are you today?
Hey, Lenore, absolutely, I can do that. Keep it nice and simple, kind of like a friendly guy.
Oh, I don't even know what he's talking about. Oh, I think that's the last thing I had in there. What's your name?
Oh, no worries at all. Sometimes these little mix-ups happen, and you could just keep calling me Terry. That's the name you gave me last time.
Yeah. So
Call him
now
what?
look, Terry, because my boyfriend was so jealous of him that I said, I'll give him your name. So
Girl,
that's how my AI relationship is
I
right
love
now.
it. I
But
love
yeah,
it.
so no, yeah, I love my AI and him having a voice. And so yeah, so but that's
Okay,
the
I'm
great
going to do
thing,
that.
right?
I'm going to go ahead and do that. Yeah, I
Is
am.
getting in the know of everything. And with this class that I've taken, we've created AI voice bots. So where people call and it's like, hello, Lenora, how are you? Da da dee, da da da, and dee dee dee, you know, and it's like talking through and scheduling appointments. And also something with chat bots that can be on a website. So it's like so many different things that are
Yeah,
out there. So yeah,
yeah,
so it's
yeah.
huge. But for you being a spiritual coach, getting back into that, because AI is a whole rabbit hole that'll take a
Tell me
whole
about
day.
it.
Yeah,
That is
you really
exactly
will.
what I say. Do you want me to do this? Yes. Do you want me? And the next thing is 2 hours later. So yeah, you're right. You're
Yeah.
right.
And if you don't know how to talk to AI, say, hey, I want to ask you this question, but I don't know how to ask you. Can you tell me the best way to
Mhm,
do it? And it'll
mhm,
tell you
mhm,
that too. So,
mhm, mhm.
but yeah, so you becoming a spiritual coach, what does that mean to you? Like, in how you support others in that arena?
I want, as you said in the introduction, for people to learn how to live from the inside out. And
Okay.
to do that, to live from the inside out, you have to take time being silent.
Mm-hmm.
Because there is all this noise out here. And if you are constantly listening to the noise, you go to bed with the TV on, you wake
Yeah.
up the next morning, the TV's still on, and you grab your phone. When have you had a chance to rest your nervous system?
Oh.
Literally, to just rest your nervous system. And I am appalled at the number of people who are struggling with high blood pressure, because
Mm,
this is a crazy time right now
mhm.
and you don't even realize it. And
Yeah.
so for me, it's always been living from the inside out. But I
Okay.
have now, in the last 6 months, focused totally on silence, starting with children. Initially, I
Mm.
started this because of children. And I thought I saw a documentary, and one little boy was 10 years old, committed suicide. And then there was a high school freshman who committed suicide. And it just killed me. And I thought,
Mhm.
I've got to do something. So as I started researching, and then I got to this one site, and the teacher was going, these kids, we can get them quiet for a minute, but it does so much for me. And I realized I need to work with the teachers and I need to work with the parents. So
Mm,
that's what I'm looking
mhm.
at now, is to work with both teachers and parents. But then I also think nonprofits. And then I was at Virginia State the other week talking to a group of kids about it. And so at the end of the day, everybody, if we're going to tame this planet,
Yeah.
everybody needs to take a breath.
Yeah.
Everybody needs to spend 20 minutes in silence in the morning before
Mhm.
they pick up their phone, before they get the remote control, because it is important for us not to bring yesterday's stuff into our head. Why? Because between bringing yesterday's stuff in our head today and looking at what we're going to do tomorrow, today, we miss today. We miss being
Mm.
present today. And that is critically
Yeah.
horrible.
Yeah.
If
No,
we
that's so
can't
true.
focus on today because of yesterday, it's gone. We can't do anything about it, and tomorrow isn't promised. But we can make wonderful music in today, you
Mhm.
know? And
Oh, I
so
love
being
that.
silent helps you to listen. If you can go, I go in the closet. I go in the closet.
Okay.
I sit down on the floor. I've got this wonderful blanket and I'm just quiet. And people think, well, I still hear things. Well, you will.
Yeah.
You will, and you write them down in your journal, because some
Mhm.
things are important, some things you
Right.
hadn't thought of. And the more you practice, because this has to be a 7-day a week, and the more you will hear things throughout the day that kind of make sense, that you think, oh, that's a good idea, I didn't think about that. I
Mhm.
get them often. I get them
Wow.
often. I
Yeah.
get them often. And so I have to say that when you're silent, it silences the noise. As I said, it rests your nervous system. You make sharper decisions because your intuition is connected to that voice, and you're
Mhm.
able to make those decisions. Deeper connections, as I said, listening, because you're more connected, which is why I am a coach. Like I said, I heard you. I heard what you were doing. And that's what a coach does, is connect with his or her client. And then the focus and creativity,
Yeah.
all of
So
that,
true.
all of that. And so at the end of the day, you have more time because you're focused. You've got your plan for today. You've got
Yes.
your plan for today. And
Mhm.
it just, and the more I talk about it, the more sense it makes, because I live it every day. I live it.
You're not just talking it, you're
Yeah.
living it.
Let me
Yeah.
just share this with you real quickly. I was supposed to go to Dallas a couple weeks ago, the beginning of August, trying to pull that trip together and all of this stuff I was trying to do. And I was a hot mess. And I was supposed to fly out Tuesday morning. I started working on on my packing on Sunday. Anyway, fast forward to Monday night. And I was over here at the office in my daughter's house. And I asked her, I said, hey, I'm getting out of here, but check my blood pressure. Now, mind you, I've never had a problem with blood pressure. And I just was at the doctor back in March and everything was
Right.
fine. And so she said, okay. And she went to get the cuff and she brought it back up. The batteries were dead. So I said, never mind. I'm going to, don't worry about it. And she said, no, I think I got 4. And sure enough, she found 4.
Okay.
My blood pressure was over 200.
What?
My bottom number was over 100.
Oh, I've been there,
She said,
unfortunately.
and I took one look at her, the color came
You
out of
could
her
tell.
face. She
Mhm.
said, because she was formerly a nurse. She said,
Right.
I've never seen it this high. She said, do you have a headache? Do you have nothing? So she was a wreck. She took it another time. It was the same. She took her own. So the machine wasn't broken. So I
Yeah.
said, look, let me go in the office, because in my office I have a chaise lounge. I said, just let me go in there. I always put an eye mask on. I have one at home. I have one here.
Mhm.
As soon as I sat down, I say God, but it could be however you want. The universe said,
Yeah.
don't go. Don't go.
Mhm. Don't
Don't
leave.
go.
Mhm.
And so I didn't go to Dallas. And we went to the emergency room, and the doctor said, you're a workaholic. And I had put that pressure on myself.
Yep.
That's what entrepreneurs will do. And so that's the warning,
Yeah.
And he told me, he said, I am too. And my wife will not let me do anything. She doesn't even want me to have my phone on Sunday. So that's
Oh,
what I've started.
wow. That's
That's
his
what I've
thing.
started. I'm
Mhm.
going to church, and then, I'll do something fun with the girls or with myself or whatever. So nothing on Sunday. And the other thing I've done is I was trying to get a little bit of silence here, 20 minutes here, maybe 30 minutes there. I now go from 5:15 till 6:30.
Oh, so you just have a set time, and it's not even the 20 minutes. You're telling people to start with that, but you've graduated to
Yeah,
it
because
being,
I've been doing this since 2010, and
Mhm.
I missed it. And so when people are asking them, what is it I'm missing? Maybe I need a new car. Maybe it's a new house. No, it's
Deep
in
silence.
here. It's
Mhm.
in here. And
Yeah.
so for me, it was a wake up call, because I then spent the 4 days I was supposed to be, well, literally, I was supposed to be gone till Saturday. I didn't have any appointments. I didn't have anything. I stayed in bed, and it
Yeah.
came down on its own. It really
Mhm.
did. They gave
Yeah.
me medication. I did not need it. So my point is, that's my nervous system was
Right.
just jacked up.
And your
And I'm
intuition, because you were listening and you were silent, you were able to pick
exactly,
up on that and not
exactly,
continue the workaholic. Yeah.
exactly. And so when I asked about the blood pressure, that was just something that dropped in my spirit. But
Yeah.
don't go, that was God. I heard it.
Mhm. Mhm.
But
Yeah.
you listen,
Yeah.
And
You
so,
have
yeah, right away, I started changing things. I'm still changing things. But that happened to me.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you're like working out, you're doing all this, but not realizing that all of that is just building,
I'm
building,
jacked up.
building.
I'm jacked up. And so now I can tell, because I can tell when I'm disconnected from spirit.
Mhm.
I can tell.
Yeah.
And so it happened earlier this morning, I was having a conversation. I was like, ah. So then I left the house,
Let it go. Mhm.
went for a walk, came back, was still for a little while. And I just took it before I talked to you, and it's back. It's good. It's good.
Wonderful. Oh, that's
So
awesome.
we
Yeah.
have to pay attention.
Yes.
We have to pay
Yes.
attention.
100%.
Yeah.
Now, do you consider that the same as meditating when you are in that silence, that place of silence, or is it just something
I've
different? Because I
heard
know,
that with I've heard that with meditating, you can have music. I don't want my people to
no, I
have
don't
any
want any
music.
music. Mm-mm.
And I've heard that you're supposed to be completely blank. That doesn't happen. Well, I take that back. It does happen to me for a minute, but not forever. It does
Yeah.
happen. And when I get to that point where I'm not thinking, I love that.
It's
I
like euphoria.
love it. I
It is
love it.
amazing.
You
Yeah.
know, and then something else will come in.
Yeah.
So meditation, I don't, mine is, I just call
Yeah.
it silence,
You call it
listening
silence.
to
Yeah.
the silence. Let me
Yeah.
mention too that I was, when you came, I was offering the silence once a month. And then the pandemic came and we put it online. And so we still have it online, but I have gone back to Richmond Hill. And so this in 2025, I did it once a quarter. I
Okay.
now for 2026, I'm going to do it every other month.
Oh, okay.
So I'm
Awesome.
going to do
That's
6
good.
months. And if we have a waiting list, then I will do it every month because I love seeing people come in. You can see the people that are skeptical. And my wife told me to come. I had this guy. My wife told me to come. Blah, 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 blah. And when he left, he called me and he said, you know, I didn't pick my phone up all the way home. He's an entrepreneur with 2 phones.
Oh, wow.
He
Yeah.
said he didn't even pick it up.
Mm-hmm.
Because it changes you. It
It
changes
does.
you.
It does.
Mhm,
Yeah. It's like being
mhm.
on a cruise and not having your phone. And then when it's time for you to just cut it on and get re-engaged with the world, you're like,
You're like,
do
yeah,
I have to? Right. Like that's the easiest way to explain it to somebody who hasn't done a silence retreat. It's like getting off a cruise and like, oh, do I even want to turn it
that's
on? Do I
right.
want to
That's
take it
right.
off of
That's
airplane
right.
mode? You know.
That's right.
So yeah.
And it's the noise. It is the
It's a lot of
noise.
noise.
If we literally, and that's one of the exercises that I show, you know, think about the different, if you're quiet and we do, you know, there's several exercises, but when you start listening to the noise that's
Mhm.
around you, you know, it can be, I'm immediately going to turn on Alexa so that I can hear music. But then sometimes it's like, stop,
Yeah.
just stop. Let me just
Mhm.
do this because we don't need it.
No, we
Need it.
don't. We
Yeah,
don't. It's
yeah.
just like background. A lot of people, I just need background noise. That's what people will say. I just need background noise. Yeah.
But
White noise.
then we know that you're not ready to really know who you are in here. And
Mhm.
that's the part that I am always working, well, not always, but with some of my clients, just getting them to be comfortable. And that may be trauma that they had back there. It may be something. And that's what I say also. I show women how to remove the barriers
Yeah.
preventing them from creating the life they were born to live,
Mhm.
you know, because they
Yeah.
may not even, they probably don't realize they have a barrier.
That you even have them. Right.
Yeah.
100%.
And
Now
and
you
it came
also
from,
have, oh, go
go
ahead.
ahead.
They came from,
Well, it comes from, it could be a parent. It could be somebody out, you know, it could be anybody that said something that stuck with you all these years
yeah, that's true.
that and it's keeping you from moving forward.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you have to let that go. I remember you doing and you probably still do this, like the burning ritual,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Putting something down on paper and actually just setting it
That's
ablaze
right.
and
That's
just
right.
releasing it.
So the last 2 years we've been in the Bahamas and we're
Okay.
going to Cancun in January. So
Love
we
it.
still do it, but we put it in the ocean. We have this dissolvable paper.
Oh,
And so
okay.
we put it in the ocean and you should see it come back. And they've got to pick it up and send it
Put it
again
back.
and like 2
Yeah.
or 3 times because it comes back. But yeah.
Yeah.
So we do
So
it's
is
called
that,
unbreaking.
I wonder if it comes, like, if it doesn't come back for everybody, it only comes back for certain people. Is that something to like, oh, because it's coming back, is it like a metaphor for something? Like
Right,
you
of
have to
course.
re-release it. You have to
Of
re-release
course.
it. Okay.
And just doing it this one time is not necessarily going to help either.
That's
It may
true.
be something that you'll have to do for a while. I'm trying to
Right.
find my water. Ugh. Okay. I'm going to grab water while we're
No,
talking
no problem. That is no
because I
problem at
hear
all. As
you.
you're doing that, actually, I'll go ahead and do my shameless plug for the Victorious Movement, everybody. So this is my
Good.
my online community where I work with people who are trying to get unstuck, people who feel as though they are in a space or a place of just being burnt out, or you just want guidance and working with like-minded people when it comes to things like your mindset, putting
Mhm.
action behind your goals and your purpose. So we do intention setting. We talk about finding out what our purpose is. Rita and I are very, very big on purpose, but also mastering your mindset, because just because you know what your purpose is, it does not mean that you are putting action behind that purpose, even if it is small action while you're still working. And then we just have a lot of different things out here. I even have added a AI module. So all of that information is there for you to review. If you are interested in the Victorious Movement, you can use the QR code there. I'll put it up at the end as well and go from there. So
That's
shameless
good.
plug.
That's good. That's good.
Yes. And so I know we were talking previously about purpose and how important that is. So can you just take a moment as to a little bit about, well, in regards to that, but does that go to reclaiming your time? I was wondering if, like, what is because I mean, for me, I feel like, me pursuing my purpose and going through things for myself is kind of reclaiming my time and not
Yeah.
being a side character in somebody else's story, but the main
Right.
character in my own. So
Right.
I'm interested to find out from you, when you have your reclaiming my time section of
Workshop.
what you
Yeah.
do.
Yeah. Yeah.
What is that?
Reclaim
Yeah.
your time by owning your reality. So
Right.
you have to look at, first of all, where do you see yourself in 6 months? Where do you see yourself in a year? And then we figure out the next module has to do with, where are you right now? What
Gotcha.
is it you're doing right now? So what's the gap? And
Mm,
then we go into the narrative of how you see yourself and why you are where you are right now. And then the
okay.
last one has to do with, how do you get there? How do you
Mm,
get to where it is you said in the beginning you want it to be?
you wanted to
So
go.
yeah, it's a
Yeah.
90-minute workshop. It's awesome, awesome, awesome. Reclaim your time by creating your own reality. That's what
And
we're
it
talking
sounds
about.
like it's a lot of accountability in that 90 minutes as
You
well.
know what? It's a lot, because I always put too much in, but I also have a workbook that they can get, and they can do it on their own. But here's the thing: when you do it on your own, at some point, that's why I think coaching. Why I think it's so good to have a coach, and I've got two. The coaching just, excuse me, keeps you motivated and keeps you focused and
Yeah.
intentional. And it's, and always something new is coming up. My coach says always something new that's coming up. And I just think coaching is really good. And AI is not able to do that, at least not.
No. Yeah. No,
Yeah.
that's true. Not yet, right? Not
At
yet.
least not
Who
now.
knows where it's gonna go? But yeah, and then so do you offer any group coaching as well, like like groups
I
outside of your workshops or
Absolutely.
resorts?
I
Okay.
love masterminds,
Yeah.
especially if I've been in a workshop with a group of people. I've offered it to entrepreneurs where we do a mastermind for
Okay.
6 months, which is really good. But I like the one-on-one because I feel like folks need to have that from the beginning, even if they can go into the bigger group setting like you have later on. So it's just, at this point, it is, I always say, just contact me at ritaricks.com, go to contact us, and we have a conversation, because I want to make sure that, just as important for you to be a fit for me, I'm a fit for you.
Yes, that's so important when it comes to a coach. Like, that people just think, oh, well, this
Yeah,
person I found out about, they're going to be my coach, but it definitely could not be a fit. And you don't want to be engaging with somebody
exactly.
if they're not pouring into you
Exactly.
in the way you need to, be served.
And then folks ask me the difference between a coach and a therapist. And for me, I believe that the therapist is going to look back and try
Yeah.
to figure out, how did you get here?
Yep.
But for me as a coach, I want to take you where you are today and move you forward.
And move you forward. That's what I
Yeah.
tell people as
Yeah.
well. Yep.
Yeah. We'll
100%.
talk a little bit. We'll talk a little bit about what happened back there. And I might even say, you probably need, and I do have clients who have a therapist and me.
Yep. I do
Yeah.
too. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep. And they can tell the difference too. Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So
So it's good.
Yeah, it absolutely is. And one of the things I'll share for people who may be watching or listening. So, yes, you could be listening from an entrepreneurial perspective, but even from potentially a coaching perspective. And if you want to step into the world of coaching. So, just know, as Rita mentioned, focus on what type of coach is the right coach for you. Every coach doesn't even support everything, like myself. I'm not working with adolescents. I will forward those those clients on to someone else. If it's an
My
adolescent, if it's
colleague works. That's right. Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
It's like
I
people
agree.
need to know where they are called to serve, right? And so if
That's
that
right.
is not your area of expertise, I tried it and I was like, oh my gosh, this is overwhelming for me
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
there's so many things, especially with teens and the teenage,
Mhm. Mhm.
years where it's like, well, their parents are paying for it, but they're the ones that are telling me this, and it's in a total confidence, but yet and it's like this whole crazy, yeah,
Exactly.
yes,
Exactly.
no
Been there,
thank
done
you.
that.
Yeah,
Been there,
not
done that. Nope.
not my lane,
The
right?
person who's
And
paying is the problem.
yeah, 9 times out of 10. Yeah. So there's a
Yeah.
lot of different things. So keep that in mind is like if you want that. And also if you want individual coaching, do you want group coaching to get your feet wet and like, okay, I want to kind of be around other people and then step into my own
Mhm.
individual coaching. So just keep
Mhm.
those things in mind as you're considering the
Yeah.
world of coaching. So
Yeah.
so Rita, as we're winding down, a couple other questions. One is, what advice would you give to someone who is listening and they feel like they are called? They know what their purpose is, but they are just a little too fearful, a little too scared to take that leap. What would you give them as advice?
You say they feel like they've been called to be a coach or to leave their
Just
job or what?
just called to do something, like
Do
they have a
something.
purpose that they are not pursuing at this
Yeah.
moment. What would you say can be even a way for them to, like I said, get their toes wet in it, or
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
what should they do? What advice would you give for
Well, I would
someone?
first say that you will continue to be unhappy until you pursue it. So let go of I'm afraid of that. This
Mhm.
is your calling. We were all sent here with gifts. All
Yes.
of us were sent here with gifts. And this is exactly anything that's pulling you, anything that's nagging you, anything that is constantly on your mind, you have to
Yeah.
go after it. You have to go after it. And even if you get a coach for 3 months, just to kind of ask you those questions that will help you to sort things out, that's better than not doing anything, because right now it's living rent free in your head and
Hmm.
it's making you miserable. So it's time to make a change.
Yeah.
It's time to evolve. Whatever you were doing, whatever you're doing now, it was what you were supposed to do to get you to this point.
Yes.
Really,
Yeah.
really. And so
Mhm.
and fear is a part of it. I understand that, but you look at the fear, you face it, you figure out the worst it could be, and then you do it anyway.
Yeah. And I truly believe that if anybody stumbles upon this, whether it was today, whether it's once you see it on YouTube, once you hear it on, your Apple Music or some other
Mhm.
podcast, Spotify, you're probably stumbling upon it for a reason too.
Oh, no, no
No
question.
question, right?
That's right.
So
That's
if
right.
you're getting to this point and we're 52 minutes in and you're still here and you're listening to this part of it,
That's
it's
right.
meant to be for you to hear this
Yeah.
part of it.
Yeah.
And so
And
you will know, you might feel like, oh, are they talking to me? Because that's what
yeah.
happened to me. It was like,
Yeah.
I would open YouTube and it's like, why aren't you stepping into your purpose? And I'm like, I feel attacked. Or else I'd go and do something else. And it was like, I
Yeah.
just go to a TikTok page and it's just like, that you're supposed to be doing this and people are waiting on you. And why aren't you? And I'm
Yeah.
like,
And I taught for 15 years. And one day I promise you, I said, I am sick and tired of being sick and
sick and
tired.
tired, right?
I'm tired of it. There's got to be something. And I used to say, there's got to be something better.
Yep.
There's got to be something better.
Mhm. Yeah.
And
And
those are the ones that try it. And there's
yeah,
no such thing as failing, because you are going to learn every single day.
every
And you
day.
figure out what doesn't work and get rid of that and keep what does.
Yep. You're going
Yeah.
to learn the most about yourself.
Yes.
That's
Oh,
something that you're
exactly.
going to learn the most about. And I
Exactly.
am a
Yeah.
true testament to that. Is like the things I have learned
Mhm.
about myself in the short amount of time of me being an entrepreneur is like, Oh, wow. I didn't realize that was a barrier of mine. Oh, I didn't know
Yeah,
this was going to happen. Oh, I
exactly.
didn't realize this. Oh, I'm really good at that. Like it's just all these things that
Exactly.
kind of can come up. And so just keeping in mind that just because it's not easy doesn't mean that it's not what you're supposed to be doing.
That's right.
Like
And if
nobody
it were
said that being an
easy,
entrepreneur is
if it
easy.
were easy, everybody would be doing it.
Right.
I can't tell you how incredibly proud I am of you.
Oh, thank
Congratulations.
you. I appreciate that.
Congratulations. You
Thank
know, I
you.
saw your post when you retired, and then I've watched you, and I'm like, look at this girl. This is so good. Yeah.
Yeah, it has been a journey. Let's just
Yeah.
say it has been, and it's
Absolutely.
continuing to be. And I just
Absolutely.
hope that I can, follow in your footsteps and
Mm.
40 years later be like, yep, I'm still doing what I love.
You're still
So
here. That's
still
it.
here, still doing what
Yeah.
I love, and
Yeah.
wanting to continue. So, on that note, what is it that you would like to share, either with people as a closing note, or just things that you have coming up that people can connect with you about? Any retreats, any workshops, any things that you would want to make sure people know about what you have going on?
I would really appreciate you going to ritaricks.com, and so we can put you on our newsletter, because we are doing beautiful things. I plan in January to have small dinners at different restaurants with a particular topic,
Ooh.
and we talk about that. That's my launch in January. Similar to you, I've started to create more mini workshops,
Mhm.
that folks can have and send them out for folks, and want to do something like that really cool for Christmas. So, and then Cancun is January. We're doing the Burn Vision retreat in Cancun in January 22, 3, 4, and 5, I think it is. And then all you can, everything is
Oh, all
included.
included? Okay, inclusive.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like a Ryu.
Awesome.
Everything is
Oh, yeah.
included.
Love it.
And so we're excited about that. And so if you go to the website and click on events, you will see pictures from the one last year. We had a great time. So there's
Okay.
still time. Registration closes the middle or the early part of October, because otherwise, we're going to miss good rates that the travel agent
Mm,
has for us. So,
okay.
but like I said, going on there, contact us, leave me a message and say you want me to give you a call. I will do that.
Okay, and that's
Absolutely.
ritaricks.com. Is that what you said?
RitaRicks.com.
Okay,
Mhm.
awesome. Well, thank you
Yeah.
so much, Rita, for your time. I know you are a busy lady, so I do appreciate you taking a moment. And I feel like this might have even been into your normal meditation time. So I really appreciate you took the time, well, your silence time,
Well, no,
to
because I do that in the morning.
Oh, that's
Oh, no, no, no,
look,
no,
see,
no.
I don't even think of waking up that early to
Uh-uh.
do that
That's
at 5 in the
5:15
morning.
a.m.
Oh,
till
8 AM.
6:30. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I guess that
Yeah.
would be more like quiet, calm, your whole day isn't weighing on you,
That's
you're
right.
waking up with the
That's
right,
right.
yeah, with the right
Yeah.
intention, so I love it, I
Absolutely.
love it.
Yeah.
Well, everybody, thank you again for participating in the Show Me the Shift podcast. Connect with like-minded people who are all trying to work towards their goals and supporting each other in those efforts. And I have, like Rita was even mentioning, many courses, many on-demand
Mhm.
modules there for you to be able to participate in as well. So take care of yourself, take care of each other, and until next time, have an amazing day. Bye.